Hi everybody, Ira Bruce with Independent News Network, or the IN, we like to call it around here, or INN. So today we're going to talk about what President Biden has been calling lately the New World Order. What a scary thought that is. President Biden talking about the New World Order. What does he mean by the New World Order? You don't find anything. I kind of Googled the New World Order. There's songs about the New World Order. There's different memos and stuff about the New World Order. But in my opinion, based on what Biden's progressive policies have been, this New World Order can be very scary to the rest of us, because what it looks like, it's looking like more and more. Let's take Iran, for instance, okay? So President Biden wants to get and put Iran into this program where the Russians are going to assist Iran with building reactors, nuclear reactors, to go ahead and power their country, right? That's the whole premise of what this new program is going to be that Biden wants to get us into. Well, so what's going to happen? Well, rather than Iran making nuclear bombs from these nuclear reactors that Russia's going to help them build, Russia's saying, well, we'll take those spent uranium rods, bring them back to our country in Russia, and we'll make nuclear bombs out of those, right? So, and so when we're talking about the New World Order, I can only imagine, right? I'm going to be a pessimist in this whole way of thinking. So it's like, okay, China has sided with Russia. They have become, it looks like they've become partners. You see pictures of Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin shaking hands with each other. And China refuses to discredit Russia for invading Ukraine. And now Biden is over in Europe talking about this New World Order. What is he talking about? Is he talking about China, who is wanting to be the most powerful country in the world? Is he talking about Iran? Is he talking about Russia? He's not talking about the United States whatsoever. What he's doing is he is totally beating down our economy with his thoughts on his progressive thoughts on climate change. And at any cost, the United States are going to move into an alternate way of energy rather than fossil fuels. And so Biden comes along, totally dismantles everything as far as the oil industry in the United States, disregarding us, the American people, trying to force us into doing his bidding and the progressive movement's bidding. We've been hearing about the new Green Deal all the way back when President Trump was in office. But and then everybody thought, well, there's no way there could be this new Green Deal being implemented in the United States, doing away with fossil fuel, doing away with oil, doing away with gas and energy. Everybody thought there's no way that this is going to happen. Well, guess what, folks? It has happened. I was going to say it is happening. It has happened. So this whole channel I'm basing on common sense, right? Let's think commonsensical about everything here, okay? Why are you going to destroy the oil industry and create hardships on us, the American people, right? So everything revolves around fossil fuels. It just does. Even think about your electric cars. Where does the electricity come from to go ahead and power those electric cars? Nobody talks about that. Well, you go home, you plug your electric car, into the electric outlet there at your house, right? To charge your vehicle. Where is that electricity coming from? Well, it's coming from these power plants that are fueled by either coal or oil, right? So where are you even thinking about being in a state of the new Green Deal, or in a state of affecting climate change? Because it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, is exactly what it is. You are still burning fossil fuel to make energy to power your car, which makes absolutely no sense to me, right? So that's the incredible part about it. Here's something even more incredible. We're trying to get gas and oil from dictators, from people who hate us, from Venezuela, from Russia, from Iran, from the Saudi Arabians. We're begging for these oils. Now look, folks, let's use our heads here for a second, just for a second. If we're telling all these countries that hate us, produce more oil and sell it to us, why? So you're not changing a thing. All you're doing is saying, oh, well, since we're not producing any oil here in the United States, this is going to give us clean energy. No, absolutely not. They're importing oil, and then they're producing the gas from this imported oil. I mean, how does that change anything? I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And people are just scratching their head. They're like, how does this make sense? How do you put a veil over people's eyes and say, oh, we've stopped producing oil, which makes us this great climate change country, which, no, we're not doing. Again, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're robbing the United States of the ability to produce our own oil and buying oil from somewhere else. How does that make any sense to anybody? That's what this channel is all about. Let's use our minds. Let's use some clear thinking here. Let's be let's have some common sense here, folks, okay? So I'm sure I'm not the only one, and I guess I've created this format to stand on the highest mountain that I can and declare this craziness of shutting down all of our oil and saying, oh, okay, we've done our part, but yet we're buying all this oil, bringing it into this country. Now, number one, let me just tell you, it creates even more of an oil need effect because you have to get that oil from these other countries over here to this country. So now you're expending all this energy in these ships that have to power over the seas. They fill up overseas, they come over here, they're expending so much energy driving these oil tankers over here to the United States, giving it to us. How does that make a bit of sense? So you're actually creating more usage of oil to power these ships to come over here to give us the oil that we need to run our country, when if we made it right here in the United States, we would actually be helping the environment by not even using all of that energy, all that oil, all those fossil fuels to power those ships to come over here. Has anybody thought of that? I don't even hear anybody even talking about that, how foolish of an idea that is. What they do talk about is the XL pipeline. Now, yeah, that XL pipeline is made so we don't have to use those ships to power them clean across an ocean to get to us to offload on at a port and then go ahead and transport that oil again. Once it gets here, it has to be loaded into containers. It has to be trucked to a station where they're going to produce gasoline, right? So you're expending all this energy rather than having the XL pipeline just pump it right on in here into this country. You're eliminating ships powering across the seas. You're eliminating all these trucks that are loading from those ships to wherever they're going to make the gas and the fuel. It just makes absolutely no sense. So I started off this video as saying there's a new world order going on here, but I guess I digressed into talking about fossil fuels and the elimination of fossil fuels here in this country. But the scariest part about this new world order that I haven't figured out yet, and we're going to be making more and more videos about this because this is brand new. This is breaking news about Biden talking about a new world order. Okay, well, the world order, the way it is now, is the United States is number one. We're pretty much the dominant country, the dominant power in the world. And if he's talking about a new world order, then in my opinion, he's talking about the United States not being the number one power country in the world. If this new world order is to come into place, then he's talking about China, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia. He's talking about a new world order. An order is like this. The United States is up here at the top. If he's talking about a new world order, the United States then is probably not going to be at the top. And what he's trying to say is, well, we're doing our job here for climate change. Well, again, I go back to saying China is the biggest producer of pollution in the world, right? So that's who you need to start with. You need to start with China and cleaning up their act. You're never going to do that. So, again, autocracies are China, they are Iran, they are North Korea, they are Russia. We need to be very careful about what we need to let happen in this country. And we have to stay steadfast and focused on keeping America number one and there not being a new world order going on, because we know that China is trying their hardest to come over here, and they send their countrymen over here in our education system. They even send their Chinese countrymen into work in some of our most sensitive companies with sensitive information and stealing our information and sending it back there to China. Folks, we have got to wake up here. We honestly cannot allow China and Russia and all these other communistic countries to come to our country, infiltrate these highly sensitive businesses that we have, right, where we're producing state-of-the-art technology that these Chinese are sending back to their country. Now, you know, it could be argued that that doesn't happen, but trust me, there have been Chinese spies that are caught all the time, and so it's not like this is something new. And I'm going to tell you something from a personal experience too, is that my children who are in college, they've been denied entry into some of our colleges here in the United States because the Chinese and Russians and all these other countries are sending their international students over here, and it's big, big money, folks. These universities are charging these international students big money. It's all about the money, right, for these colleges. And that's why they're letting these international students come in and have priority to colleges because of the money that they get from these international students. And then again, these students come in here, they learn, they get placed into one of our high-tech companies that we have here, and then they go ahead and they relay that information right back to the homeland. And that is going to compromise our ability to remain the #1 power here in the world. So just want to start off with that. I wanted to make a video about that, getting people thinking in that direction about this new world order and how it's happening, and some of the inner workings that are going on with infiltrating our company with these foreign nationals that are taking the information and sending it back to their country. One last thing I do want to make a point on, though, in this video is money. So something I've been really thinking a lot about. And the saying, money is the root of all evil, has never been so prevalent as it is today. And these are going to be, money is going to be a topic that I want to make a video on, because this is what's ruining our country, is money. It's ruining our country because, trust me, lobbyists, which is one of my videos that I made here for INN, lobbyists are being paid by these big corporations to go and influence these congressmen. And it's all about the money, folks, all about the money. Look at just one example, the NBA. The NBA gets billions of dollars from China because China promotes the American Basketball Association, the NBA. And so the NBA is scared to death that China will cut them off. And if they cut them off, there's billions and billions of dollars being cut off from the NBA, where they're able to pay these players millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to play in the NBA. So it's all about the money. We have to stop being so greedy in this country. And this country needs to be founded on idealism and being independent and having the autonomy of just our country. We have got to wean ourselves off of China and the money that they are pouring into this country. We are a very greedy country. Big corporations are very greedy. Big pharma is very greedy. So many things are being made in China and sent to the United States in the name of getting cheaper products. We've got to stop being so greedy, because we're going to end up compromising our country, our freedom, and our way of life if we don't stop being so greedy. right? So that's going to change the whole world order, as what Biden is saying. If we let China become the new number one, and we're dependent on them to get all of our stuff, to get our pharmaceuticals, and to get a lot of our microchips for our computers and a lot of our parts for our cars. That's one of the reasons why car prices are so high today, is because we can't get these computer chips from China to power our cars. This is a wake-up call, folks. We need to be woke to the fact that China is trying to take us over, and we need to wean ourselves off of China. We need to wean ourselves off of the oil from Russia, and we need to be independent, and then we need to be the powerful country, the number one country in the world, and maintain that by being autonomous and not having to rely on other countries for our success and our survival. So let's stay woke to this fact. We will continue to come back to that, and we'll talk about more money problems that this country has in the way of being paid. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Go ahead and make your comments. We'd love to see what your comments are. So let's start a really good dialogue, and let's let everybody know. We want to make this Independent News Network the number one YouTube channel and Rumble channel where people can go to and look at the messages and the comments and the dialogue that we, the people, are putting out there, especially as independent voters, so they can get an idea that we're just not going to take it anymore. And we're going to be woke. And we're going to be woke to the ideas of what's really going on out there. And let's go ahead and start letting our voices be heard. And in this upcoming election, this is one reason why I've started this YouTube and Rumble channel, is this video channel, because we want to have a dialogue as independent voters, and then maybe people can come and see what our number one interests are and what we're trying to convey. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you're not yet a subscriber, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the notification icon, because we want you to be able to see when we've made a new video. Come back, give us your opinion, and we're giving you a voice of what the independent voter is thinking and doing.